What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Football Capital. Now today, I want to give you a little bit of an update of what's happening with the Premier League and when it's going to continue. You're saying the last video we did with the boys, the Premier League was suspended till the 3rd of April. That has now changed. It is now suspended till the 30th of April. So we won't be seeing any Premier League till about May. But let's first touch on UEFA and the meeting that they had a couple of days ago. They sat down for about an hour and a half from what I've been reading. And I think everyone that was at this meeting was on the same page to postpone the Euros till next year. And I think that was a decision that everyone agreed upon. So the Euros, which were meant to be taking place in a few different countries in Europe, has now been moved to next year. Now, what this allows, and also right after that, also the Copa America was postponed till next year as well. So what this allows is a lot more time for the Premier League to finish off the remainder of the games. And in my opinion now, depending on what happens or what goes on with this virus, I mean, there's no other option but to finish the league. You have the time. Even I think the meeting that the Premier League had last night, they said they're going to do everything they can to finish off the season. Making the season void is absolutely their last option. And I think that's in my opinion, that's the right thing to do. And I said it in our last video that making the season void is, to be honest, it's just, I can't even see that even happening. I don't even see how they can even do that, even if they don't even start next season till December. No matter what, in my opinion, this season has to be finished. There is only 9 games left. And I think once this whole thing with this virus maybe settles down a little bit, I think they can play the remainder of the games. And even touching on some of the things, some of the stuff we spoke about, or actually let me go through some of the options that were here about the Premier League. So the first option was null and void. Obviously, scrap the whole season. However it stands now, Liverpool don't win the league, Champions League spots. I think everything just goes back to how it was at the start of the season, which is definitely unfair in my opinion. They also had the season is void, but Liverpool still win the league. That's another option that was put on the table. Yes, we all know Liverpool are 25 points clear, and like I was saying to the boys, there's more chances of us catching this virus and actually Liverpool losing the league. I also think that is not fair to some of the other clubs, especially the ones fighting for the Champions League spots and some of the ones in the relegation zone as well. End the season as it stands now, that's pretty much very similar to the other one. It's not fair for some of the teams like maybe Aston Villa, Bournemouth, even the teams fighting for the Champions League spots. And then another option that they were speaking about was start the season next. This is for the 2020-2021 season with 22 teams, which means Leeds United and West Brom come up. No one gets relegated. These two teams come up and there's a 22 team competition. And at the end of the year, 5 teams get relegated instead of the 3. I mean, I can see where they're going with that, but I still don't think that's probably the best option as well. But let's go back to the first one, null and void. To be honest, you can't cancel the season. To me, it's as simple as that. Look, the 95% of the season will be wiped out. And after the last video off camera, Rami kind of mentioned what happens to all the goal records? What happens to all the records set by the clubs? Does that all get wiped out as well? And that, like, even surely that is not fair. Like, for example, Mason Greenwood, certain amount of goals for his age group at that age. I think he's got records. Marcus Rashford getting records. What about even Salah? Salah scored. He now sits second, scoring 70 goals in 100 Premier League games. Does that get wiped out? What about Leicester City? Didn't they beat Southampton 9-0? Does that record now get wiped out? I think City beat Watford 8-0. The biggest home record or biggest away record, or it was something like that. Do all these records now get wiped away just because we've null and void this season? I think that's completely unfair. I mean, like, what happened? So, like, the appearances and all that, like, it's just now. Let's just say, for example, some of these young players, like Mason Greenwood, starts next season and scores the goal. He's not going to be the youngest player anymore to score the goal. So, in my opinion, no, I know Seba was going on about just cancel the whole season completely. Look, to be honest, that it's not going to happen, and that definitely should be the last resort. Let's end the season, make the season void, and Liverpool win the league. Now, yeah, look, that is, again, I just can't say that. I don't think that's fair. And I don't know if you guys seen from Sky Sports where they were having a debate on this to give Liverpool the league and avoid the rest of the season. Now, one of the guys was there trying to make a point, and Rami and Seba were making the same point that Liverpool, mathematically, they haven't won the league. We all know that. Yes, football can be crazy sometimes. Liverpool, there is, as the boys were saying, as long as there's a chance Liverpool can lose the league and someone else can win it, they shouldn't be awarded the title. Now, I agree with that to a certain extent. We all know they will win it, but it is mathematically possible that City can still catch them, right? To give them the title, and then, for example, and what the guy on Sky was saying, that to give Liverpool the title and then Man United fifth, City, the ban should stand if it's void at the moment. United should get the Champions League spot. Now, Sheffield United are what? 2 points behind fifth with a game in hand. Now, where do you draw the line? Where's the cutoff point of what happens? It's not a level playing field. United get that Champions League spot, but if Sheffield win their game in hand, they're fifth. So surely they should deserve a Champions League spot as well. That's why and even talking about the relegation zone, Aston Villa, they're in the bottom. They're coming 18th, 19th with a game in hand. They win that game in hand. They're out of the relegation zone. How can you relegate a team when they still got a game in hand? And if everyone's played the same amount of games, they're out of that relegation zone. How can you? It just, to me, doesn't seem possible. And it goes the same thing with ending the season as it stands. With some of the teams got some of these games in hand that they still haven't played. Definitely is not fair. With the 22 team competition, yeah, I can maybe see where they're going with that. That might be a good idea. Like I said, it's not fair for a team like Leeds United that haven't been in the Premier League 15, 16 plus years, could be even more than that, 18 maybe, to just tell them all the hard work they put in throughout the season that, you know what, no, you're not coming up. But look, I do think that with the Euros now suspended till next year, or moved till next year, that this gives a lot more time now to the Premier League to organise the rest of the fixture list. Now, we don't know when, like April 30th is just a date, maybe just to buy more time. If this thing gets worse, maybe we can run it into May. There's still a lot of complications with that as well. Like I was saying, my opinion is if all the players are fit, every player gets tested, the staff gets tested. A lot of the club staff are tested as well, and everyone is ready to go. No one is affected. Every squad member, every staff member throughout the 20 teams, if everyone's good to go, which would take maybe a month to make sure everyone is completely safe, to get all these stadiums, all their change rooms, everything sanitized, which is what we're seeing in China as well. They're doing it throughout the city, so doing it in a stadium twice a day, I don't think it should be a problem. With training sessions, keep them separated, maybe separate the the attackers with the defenders. I mean, they don't all have to get changed in the same rooms. And this could work. And I know Seba mentioned that you can't separate the players from their families. I mean, I think you can. These players are getting paid by their clubs to do a job. This is literally their job. And in every profession in the world, everyone goes overseas or goes away for 2-3 months at a time even to do their job. So it's not like they're not kept as prisoners. To me, it sounded like Seba's, we're keeping them away from their family, which is not the case in my opinion. I think with the 9 games to go, plus the cup competitions with the FA Cup, I reckon in a month, you can fit these games out. You can knock these games out in a month and get the season over and done with. And yeah, if that is only if all the players are ready to go, all the players are fit, all the players have no symptoms. I can't remember what club it was, but I think it was one of the lower league clubs, maybe a League 1 or League 2 club, where even with their training, every player that comes in, it gets scanned or tested if they have any sort of fever, any sort of symptoms before they even meet with the team or even go on the training field. So that's something that they can do as well. Check if anyone's got a fever. Obviously, that's one of the symptoms. If not, let the games continue. In my opinion, 9 games to go. I don't see why they can't knock these over. There is obviously some issues. Is if it goes beyond May and we go into the 1st of June. Now, I do know a lot of players, even managers, contracts run out. Now, what happens with that? I think that's something to do with FIFA or UEFA. I'm not too sure. But players like, I use Chelsea as an example. They have players like Willian, Pedro, even Giroud, where their contract ends on the 1st of June. Now, if the season is still going beyond 1st of June, what happens now to these players? Does FIFA let them play on? Do they give them like a pass maybe? Or let they extend their contracts only to the remainder of the fixtures? We know that you can only loan out a player, or it's a 6 month. The minimum is a 6 month contract, I think it was. But what happens with that? That's some other issues. Maybe UEFA or FIFA, whoever goes through all that, gives them that leeway because of the situations that we're in to let them play. And at the same time, would the player want to still be there after their contract ends? What would someone like Giroud that wanted to leave go, you know what, let me stick it out? What happens to players like Ziyech that signed from Ajax to Chelsea? Does he have to now wait till this season is done because he signed to start with Chelsea from the 1st of June? So who knows what happens with that? A lot of contracts do run out. Even managers, there's some managers, maybe not in the Premier League, but I know in the Championship and maybe League 1, where their contracts run out beyond that time. What happens? That's the only tricky thing as well. But that's where the Premier League has to work with UEFA maybe or FIFA to try maybe remove some of them things, or maybe just push them forward, move their contracts forward for another couple of weeks. But at the moment, I don't think anyone is quite sure what could happen. It's all really speculation. But at the moment, we're looking at the 30th of April. When does that fall? The 30th of, let me go here. The 30th of April. So we're not going to see the Premier League till maybe the 2nd or 3rd of May. So yeah, another five weeks before we see any sort of football for the time being. So yeah, man, it's gonna be boring. I don't know. We're gonna come up with some content with the boys to bring to you, but I'm sure we would. But yeah, guys, let me know what you guys think. Obviously, it's not gonna be void, not yet. But what do you think? Is it a good idea? Obviously, as well, at the same time, all the other leagues have to agree to finish their season off. I'm not sure how it's going to work, and I do think UEFA as well want to finish the Champions League and the Europa League. They do have some idea. They're thinking about running maybe like a mini tournament sort of thing, knockout most of these games in in the space of a couple of days, which is, it will be a bit difficult, but sometimes we gotta do it in these times. But we'll keep you updated if there's anything with the Premier League and Europa League. We'll definitely keep you updated. But for the time being, Euros, obviously you guys already know, has been postponed till next year. So has the Copa America. The Premier League and all English competitions, even international friendlies, all have been suspended till April the 30th. But yeah, guys, let me know what you guys think about it. I mean, obviously now Liverpool's going to get a chance to get their trophy, get their first Premier League title. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Make sure you hit that subscribe button as well. Hit that like button. And yeah, let us know what your thoughts are in the comments. And I'll see you next time.